Hey, Matt.
Good evening.
Good evening to you too, sir. What are we doing?
This is the Gamers 2 podcast. That's what we're calling it.
Yeah. Somehow, still.
May 31st,
2019.
2019. Last day of May.
The last day of May. There is no more.
Forever.
Forever. Should we get right into it? Because I feel like... I don't mean to skip to the news.
I mean, we can. I don't have anything that's different from last week.
Perfect. So what have you been doing the last 7 days?
I watch Star Trek Voyager with Samantha when I get home from work. And then I watch anime in my free time. And that is literally it at this point in my life.
Solid.
Yeah. Yeah, we're... Yeah.
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 Yeah. Hey, consistency isn't a bad thing.
Nah, I just got to get through Voyager, and then I think I'll be okay. Because, like, once she gets into the Star Trek stuff, and then, like, you know, I'm rewatching it. This is only the second time I would have seen it. The first time being when I was far younger. So it's interesting to see it and be like, this is absurd. Or, I don't remember that. That's kind of cool. That's it. That's all I've been doing.
Riveting stuff.
It is riveting. Riveting.
It'll be more riveting in a week.
Yeah.
Well, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be. It's the calm.
It is. The storm is we have hit tropical storm. We have not reached hurricane status yet.
Yeah. We'll see.
That we will.
So what have you been doing?
I've been doing a lot more.
As per tradition.
As the cards dictate. I been playing the show. I've dabbled in the division. I've finally gotten my gear score to 500.
Yay.
So now I can gear drop to get you there with me. I still don't think I do any damage, but my number is 500. I don't think it means anything. I still now I need to play the optimization game.
Yeah.
But I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm halfway. Tippy top of the mountain, yada yada yada.
From what the little bit that I've looked into it online, I don't think you're by your lonesome with the I feel like I'm not doing damage thing.
That's good. I also, once I got there, have only played a little bit and not looked at anything of like, oh, what should I do?
Mm-hmm.
Just haven't even bothered. Oh, excuse me. I've also been playing. I said the show already. That's a given. Been playing the Pokemans Go's. Also a given.
Going strong.
So far. I don't think it's gonna stop, but we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that'll be a recurring
foreshadowing.
A recurring topic to item number 6. If it's actually 6, I feel pretty good, but I'm pretty positive I don't know. And then been playing the next two. One of them's not a shock. Football Manager 2019.
What?
Right. 169 hours or something like that, you know.
Jesus.
Kenny and I are moving right along. We're doing good. He's getting pissed. I'm just kind of living with it. So it's a great time. It's a great fun time.
Par for the course.
Pretty much. It doesn't look like currently either of us are about to be fired so far, so it technically overall is going a lot better, but there have just been some weird stuff happening as of late that have just caused problems. Not being able to convert on chances for goals and stuff like that. And then we were talking the other day, and we were like, we need something else. We need our typical, what we used to do, where we had a game beforehand, and then we played FM. Just to keep ourselves kind of broken up. Keep it fresh, keep it light.
I remember that.
That time.
Yeah. I remember when you guys adopted that philosophy.
We would do Apex beforehand. We would do a Fortnite beforehand. We were doing a lot of Battle Royales beforehand. Then we were playing golf for a little bit beforehand. We were just trying to keep it fresh. So we went with a game that you and I have talked about playing. Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
$20.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, sure, $20. Okay, makes sense. Thumbs up.
Oh,
Thumbs up from Nate
interesting.
for $20.
I wasn't sure where that was going for a minute there. I was like, are we gonna shit
I
on
like
this?
to I like to lead you right up until the end and then drop what I'm thinking. But yeah, no, it's good.
No complaints.
No, not really. A couple things like niche or like nuancy in the game that I like to see either represented differently or given more information about when you like pick them up or something like that. Like actual number increases and stuff, not just saying that it does something. But otherwise, we've played for a couple hours and we've only played twice. Fun so far. We've gotten stuck in a couple levels at for 25 minutes.
Does it scale? Like, if you were to play solo versus playing with another person, does it scale for that? That you know?
I don't know. I would say maybe.
I would hope so, because then I feel like if you have a full, I'm assuming 4 is max.
I believe so, yeah.
If you have 4 and it doesn't scale, you're probably like cruising through.
You would, except that it's time-based difficulty, so the longer you're in your session, the harder and harder it's getting. And even with just the two of us, when we were hitting, I think we were on Impossible, it was just nuts. There's just shit spawning everywhere. And then he got to a level called I'm Coming For You. And then he died immediately upon reaching that. Like, something killed him right there. We don't know what would have happened in that difficulty.
Yeah.
It's just like we were reaching that, and then he died.
Wait, so there's more past Impossible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it gets worse.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
there was a lot to do, and then it was just that and FM. So watching the same stuff. We started watching Chernobyl now.
Yeah, that's whack.
That first episode was something.
It was heavy.
Heavy is a good word.
Yeah, it was definitely heavy.
And then we watched a lot of stuff that we'll talk about in a bit that confused us even more. And then I think that's about it. Still sports,
Yeah.
Yankees beat Boston tonight. Suck it, Boston. Woo! Go team. Tomorrow is the Champions League final, so I'll be watching that. Be a good time.
Perfect.
Perfect. But all that happens not right now. And in a terrible segue that I always do, I would ask you what I should do to find something to take my time up until then.
You should check out Gamers 2 new release segment. Obviously.
Which starts right now. And all it is me reading a list of games that say, according to the site that I use, that they came out this week for the platforms I mentioned. Starting with number 1, Battle Worlds Chronos for the Switch. Blood and Truth for the PS4. Seen some mixed reviews on that. Some people love it. Other people kind of wishing it had more. I don't know. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons gets its Switch port. Cricket 19 for the Xbox. And as we all know... Cricket, no. Shit. I might be in the completely wrong sport. What world championship is going on right now?
I'm the wrong person for that question.
Is it the ICC? Is it the International Cricket Championship? Hold on. Now I gotta. If I can't make the joke incorrectly. Yep, International Cricket. Okay, the Cricket World Cup is currently happening, so it makes sense that they released their video game for the year. Five Nights at Freddy's VR for the PS4.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm sure.
I'm sure it is. Number 6, For the King for PS4 and Switch. Number 7 is the Guacamelee 1-2 Punch Edition. 1-2 Punch Collection for PS4 and Switch. Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition for the PS4 and Xbox. Layers of Fear 2 for the PS4 and Xbox. Little Friends, Dogs and Cats for the Switch. Tennis World Tour Roland Garros Edition, PS4 and Xbox. Among the Sleep Enhanced Edition, PS4 and Switch. And I'm betting not a bunch of people remember what Among the Sleep even is. And another game nobody remembers, DayZ, is coming out to the PS4 according to that list, and I don't know how completely accurate that is. Outer Wilds, Xbox and PC. Dollhouse for PS4. The Hollow Knight Collector and Standard Editions for PS4, PC, and Switch. Lapis Cross Labyrinth? X Labyrinth for PS4 and Switch. Mowin' and Throwin' for the Switch.
That's my favorite so far.
And it is recommended by me. 2v2 Mowin' and Throwin'.
Like mowing grass?
Yeah.
And
like
throwing
rocks.
Oh, I know what game that is.
Yes, you do. Mowing and Throwing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it is that game. A Robot Squad Simulator for the Switch. Trover Saves the Universe for PS4 and PC.
Robot Squid Simulator.
No, Squads. And Watermelon Party for the Switch.
There's some game that came out too called PixArt. Maybe it's
PixArk?
Maybe it's PixArk.
I think it's PixArk. I believe it's supposed to be something to do with Ark.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either, but I have seen that name being thrown around, so
yeah,
we will also acknowledge PixArk.
I guess. Whatever it is.
The Council at Gamers 2 recognizes PixArk from that company over there.
You have released. Congratulations.
You have the floor, and you don't anymore. You're done. Shh. Stay over there. Thank you. No, don't stand up. Nope. Sit back.
Guards.
Sir, somebody get them out of here. Anyway. Now that the rambunctious PixArk is gone, we could continue down into our headlines, of which we have many, because it's E3 season.
It is E3. There's a lot of premature announcements.
Yeah.
Premature
emancipation. That makes the Gettysburg Address way weirder.
Do you want to go first?
No, I want you to go first.
Really?
Other than what the first story is, I don't remember the order. So, yes.
All right. Activision has announced Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The newest installment of the franchise seems to be a reboot of sorts. What's not clear is how total the reboot is, as it features characters and elements from the previous Modern Warfare game, or games, I guess. Actually, Call of Duty games, right? It's character.
Yeah, I believe Captain Price has been a character since like Call of Duty 2 or something. But the current Council of Call of Duty Nerds recognizes him from his time in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 1.
What we do know does paint an interesting picture for the future of Call of Duty. We're going to run through a couple bullet points of the new game that we know. Modern Warfare will not have an annual pass. Maps, content, and events will be free to players. Thoughts, comments, concerns on that?
Or philosophical statements. This sounds like a good time for a philosophical statement. Interesting move for a reboot.
Yes.
Also a philosophical comment regarding the microtransactions and stuff. Maybe not.
You don't think so?
Maybe Activision did a once bitten, twice shy. Maybe. I think there's stuff we're going to talk about a little bit later that also rolls back into this. But they might have pulled a once bitten, twice shy and won't necessarily get egregious with it right away. We'll try to trickle it slowly and calmly and not just go, hey, give me $40 fucking for this purple skin. Woo!
It's so hard for me to picture a company taking that approach.
Right. Trust me. I don't believe it. I just would
Are you
hope,
hopeful for it? Okay.
Yes, because I hope that this is all kind of happening now with roughly everybody.
Yeah, like Star Wars, The Fallen Order, and like
there's a lot of things where it's like we're getting to the once bitten, twice shy because you guys have fucked up so much now that we're done with it.
Yeah.
And I think the only people you won't ever see really change are like EA. But when it comes to their sports games, because it's like their Ultimate Team and stuff like that makes the most money hand over fist. We've always talked about it was $4 billion or whatever it was. Like,
I wonder if this is kind of, if they do take that approach. And this is somewhat of a litmus test to see if Call of Duty can still push like record sales.
I think it's a mix of they can still push record sales, and because they're. Did you only read the first bullet point? And I've already gone.
Yes.
Okay, so you finish the bullet points, and then I'll go back to what I think this means for Call of Duty.
Okay, there's a new game engine, completely new game engine, which it does look gorgeous. There will be co-op in the form of Elite Operations. There will be a single-player campaign. Quote, players will engage in breathtaking covert operations alongside a diverse cast of international special forces throughout iconic European cities and volatile expanses of the Middle East, end quote. The game will have cross-play support across consoles and PC, and the release date is October 25th.
So intriguing, all around.
Yes.
Release date is expected. I also wouldn't be surprised to see that even get pushed another week into November. I mean, 25th isn't bad, but we are reaching that weird E3 time where somebody could move 1 week or whatever in the other direction to start avoiding things and having those weird release segments.
Mm-hmm.
So 25th could move.
Good. Generally, Call of Duty is not the one to move.
Call of Duty is usually not the one to move, but there's nothing else technically rivaling it right now, so they might not need to. It's not like a Red Dead situation coming out on October 26th, and you're like, oh, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The co-op in form of Elite Operations, we've seen co-op in some missions before. They had a mode in Modern Warfare 2, I think it was, that you could go and do a couple of the missions, like these, I don't remember what they were called, but you went and you had to do these missions to get stars, and you had to get enough stars. They were tied to achievements.
Yeah. It wasn't a Modern Warfare?
It was. It was either 2 or 3. And they were cool little things. So I'm excited to see more of that. As cheesy and usually dumb as the Call of Duty single player is, I'm actually kind of excited to see one again. I'm pumped it's going to be on PC and have crossplay across everything. But what I think going back to what I said, what I think it means for the Call of Duty, this is going to. So we already know we're getting whatever Treyarch's doing in 2020. I wouldn't be surprised if this is potentially their first foray, unofficial foray into we're not going to release one in 2021. We're going to try to keep these operating when we hit 2020 and Treyarch comes out or whatever, we're not going to just turn off Modern Warfare or try to move people from Modern Warfare to Treyarch's game. We're going to try to keep them as a true game as service, which is why they're doing these free maps and everything like that. Of let's just try to keep everybody always playing and cycle them through.
It's an interesting concept. I mean,
it is. It's
new engine too.
That's, right. It's a really weird thing for Activision to think like that. But at the same time, they've lost Destiny and yada yada. They need to do right because they need the people to come back. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited, but I want to see more when they actually do the COD XP or whatever the reveal event weekend is. I want to see more there. I know influencers and streamers and whatever have gotten to see an expanded look or a deeper look at it, but that never means shit to me because as much as I do like and respect those guys, I'm not seeing it. So I don't know what I think.
Yeah.
I know where they might stand, but unless I see it, I can't actually pass a judgment really. I can say oh, I see that somebody did this and this looks cool, but it's do I actually think it's cool? I don't know. My hands didn't do it.
The most interesting part for me out of the thing, I mean, it does look good, all that good stuff, is the crossplay support. It's always good to see that sneak into more games. Not that Call of Duty doesn't have the weight to force people into that, but
And it started doing it already a little bit, but it's a that will be potentially. We could potentially have an E3 bet on our hands for our predictions next week of how many times do the words crossplay get flashed in game trailers,
Or it gets
Possible.
mentioned.
Yeah, or gets mentioned. How many times during a press conference are the words crossplay mentioned?
Shot every time.
Shot every time. He'll be obliterated by the end of Microsoft. Alrighty. Number 2. Sony may have sold more consoles this generation than Microsoft, but Microsoft is the one. Wow, Matt. But Microsoft are the ones. No, you're right. I gotta hate this though. I hate the English language.
Well, I guess no.
No, it is because Microsoft is a single entity.
Let me come clean. The majority of this I wrote while I was drunk.
Dude, power to you. I got beer downstairs we want to drink after this for our second one.
It was the first time.
We should drink for the second episode tonight.
Okay. It's the first time I drank in a very, very, very long time. And I had like 2 beers. Granted, they were like New England IPAs, so they're a little bit higher. And I was like feeling it. And I was like, woo! Clickety, 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 do work! Clickety, clickety.
For some reason, I just picture it all because was it Thursday morning or Wednesday night when you texted me?
Yeah.
And said, hey, you'd be a doll and take a look at the doc. And I was just like, yeah, I can take a look at it. Then you sent me a GIF, and I was just like, I don't know if he's okay, but you know what? I'll do what he asks. Anyway, so Sony may have sold more consoles than Microsoft, but Microsoft doesn't give a shit and is making some serious moves. This week, Microsoft is giving some love to the PC gamer market. Microsoft announced that it's bringing Xbox Game Pass to Windows. But wait, Matt, that's already been a thing. The console-specific version has been available on PC with the Play Anywhere enabled games, but this service will be built for PC with over 100 games from more than 75 developers. Unfortunately, we weren't treated to any additional details, so no pricing or specific games, and I'm sure we'll hear more at or closer to E3. It's a good thing my brain didn't actually read that.
And since I wrote this, they did announce developers and publishers tied to it, but
of course, as is tradition.
Yeah. No specific games, but obviously you can imply it based on the publishers and stuff.
So I'll ask you, just to expand on this a little bit. We're saying that the current Xbox Game Pass doesn't, air quotes, not exist on PC. Because this is really confusing to me what they're saying.
I think what they're saying is that obviously Xbox Game Pass works on PC, but there's a very small amount of games that's available for it. It's not meant as a service that you get just for PC.
Okay.
Whereas this is going to be something that like we could get and be happy with and, not own Xboxes as well. So I think it's just them.
Which is different than what we've done with Xbox Game Pass before when we've played Forza and...
Yeah.
Okay.
Different in that there's really only like 1 or 2 games that would be interested
Separate
in.
but equal?
Yeah, I guess.
You have your PC Game Pass and then your Xbox Game Pass. But they're the same, but they're separate.
Yeah, that's going to be the weird part, I think, is the...
I think if they're going to do something like this, they need to just turn off the other one. Like, don't show it on Windows.
Yeah.
Just replace the other one and don't tell anybody you did it.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Or somehow just, doll out the money and make them hit parity.
Yeah. One of the two. Speaking of games and Microsoft, bullet point number 2, Microsoft also announced that it plans on distributing more Xbox Studios titles. I screwed that up. Plans on distributing more Xbox Game Studios titles through Steam. Quote, our intent is to make our Xbox Game Studios PC games available in multiple stores, including our own Microsoft Store on Windows, terrible, at their launch. We believe you should have choice in where you buy your PC games. We will continue to add to the... Oh, God. Please read, Nate. Come on. We will continue to add to the more than 20 Xbox Game Studios titles on Steam, starting with Gears 5 and all Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3 definitive editions. We know millions of PC gamers trust Steam as a great source to buy PC games, and we've heard the feedback that PC gamers would like choice. End quote. Shots fired.
That was I was reading the statement, and then like they get you in the beginning, and at the end they're like Steam.
Yeah.
Steam.
They had us in the first half. Not gonna lie.
Steam. What about Epic? Steam.
We understand they like choice, which means we can't do exclusivity on the Microsoft Store. And Steam. They like choice and Steam. That's not choice, you fucking dumbasses. I guess, whatever. I'm not getting into that. We've talked that ad nauseum. Yesterday, Phil Spencer teased via Twitter that Microsoft's E3 conference would have 14, count them, 14 Xbox Game Studio games, which he said was, quote, more first-party games than we've ever had in the show. Fun times, end quote. Interesting, because last year they jerked off, 48 indie titles or something like that? Mm-hmm. All these numbers, man. Numbers.
Always numbers.
Interesting, because it's 14 Xbox Game Studios titles, which could still technically be 13 indie games, because they bought a bunch of indie devs and just are tied to Xbox. So, which way do you wanna spin this tale? But neither here nor there.
Maybe we'll see another Ninja Theory game. I forgot that they bought Ninja Theory.
We could. We could at least see it tease, maybe.
Yeah. The other thing he mentioned in his tweet was that the conference was going to be. I can't remember if he said it over 2 hours or 2 hours.
I believe it because to multiple reasons, but this will also be broken down more on our E3 podcast once we have another week of people just ruining all the news. I don't think they'll pull an Anthem, but I think you'll get like an extended look at Halo and stuff like that, where those will just take 15-minute chunks. Mm-hmm. Like they'll just do cross sections of a level, and then show you all the new character abilities and how armor lock works. And
armor lock.
You guys remember armor lock? We brought it back.
I don't know. It makes me nervous. The 2 hour thing makes me nervous just because, you know how the conferences can get. Like if it's not
paced well, it's going to suck.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get through.
Oh, cool. We're at 45 minutes and somebody wake me up when Halo starts.
Yeah, exactly. Number 3. Speaking of Microsoft, there's Fable 4 rumors again. The most recent rumor is brought on by Mixer, and it's definitely a bit weak. A Mixer user noticed that Fable 4 appears in Mixer's game database when he was attempting to enter Fable 1 for his stream. At first, this may seem legit since Mixer is owned by Microsoft, and you would assume the game database is controlled by Microsoft as well. That is not the case, though, as Mixer uses an open source database for its game tagging. That being said, Fable will definitely be one of my E3 predictions, probably, as is tradition.
I do like the as is tradition that will basically be next week, of where we almost reiterate everything.
Yeah.
And I hold true that I was not horribly incorrect about Kojima. I was just wrong on the time, because he basically said you've been playing the game already.
That was an overtone to the. If you go to the website, it's a little bit heavier on it.
Yeah.
So
I was just wrong by 9 months, or by 11 months.
They already ruined one of my game predictions because it was from last year. It was the Avengers thing. But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, and you could also expound on it too if you really wanted to. You could pull a me and just butcher your own prediction.
Yeah. Yuck.
I predicted this. And then this and this and this and this and this in it. If you had just said the first thing, you'd have been right. And we'd have moved on. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't think they'll do Fable 4. I think it's going to be a Fable reboot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to be a Fable card game?
I'd really be upset If that was
What was
the
that?
case,
What was
it
it? Was
doesn't.
it
The
Fable?
IP isn't strong enough.
Was it Fable Heroes?
Yeah,
Is that the failed
Kinect?
one? No.
That was Fable Legends.
Legends. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a Kinect game, wasn't it?
I think it was supposed to be, and then just pitter patter.
Yeah.
Number 4, seeing how we're still Microsoft shills, we'll give you a little bit more Microsoft news this week. Microsoft has redesigned and re-released its IntelliMouse.
Are you familiar with the IntelliMouse?
Dun dun dun. No.
Oh, see, I think I just kind of assumed everyone is familiar with the IntelliMouse because it was the mouse that like everyone had with their computer. But
Microsoft's IntelliMouse is often suggested as one of the best mouse shapes and is still somewhat iconic today, probably due to nostalgia. The updated IntelliMouse comes with a PixArt 3389 sensor and a polling rate of 1000 hertz, so it definitely has modern gaming mouse chops. The only downside is that it hasn't lost any weight, coming in at 140 grams, which is heavier by modern standards, and no one in the US knows what I mean. It's available at the Microsoft Store for $60.
$60.
You know what I could also buy for $60? A Corsair Iron Claw.
Oh, you and your Corsair mice.
Dude, that Iron Claw, it's the fucking ergo one. My thumb sits in instead of out. Oh, it felt so nice, dude. But we both agreed when I texted you, I shouldn't spend the money while I was in Boston.
It's true. You could probably find it cheaper now.
No, it was on sale there. But I still potentially, yes, could. But I also still don't need to.
True.
I need to, like, break that first, and I'm not going to just go break my mouse.
You want me to help you? You want me to elbow drop it?
I do need to super glue it a little bit. Because the mouse wheel the rubber started sliding around the actual wheel. So I just need to do a little toothpick super glue and just kind of reattach it.
Yeah.
But
speaking of mice, have you seen the Model O, I think it's called, by Glorious?
Nope. You get into all, like, I'm a retail slave to the, I saw it on a shelf. I like that company. I didn't go into r/mechanical mice and see all the stuff they have, because I'm sure it's just a pit.
It is, which is where the Model O comes in, because like it is specifically designed to cater to the mouse review subreddit.
Oh Jesus!
Like it is. The manufacturers basically live on that subreddit.
Oh, so they just
review this, guys.
Yeah, they just know.
Yeah.
Here's how to get the best rating on here.
Yeah.
Have a specific DPI setting by default that's 1,876.5. Fuck off.
The Pokemon Company.
I think mine's at like 6,000. Anyway.
Yeah, it's because you're a freak.
I'm not that much of a... There's two more dials on that thing.
Mine's at 800, I think.
I was playing on mine for a while. I was playing Overwatch with Todd and Evil the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I had accidentally kicked it up to the 4th slot.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this just... I'm not hitting anything. It just feels a little weird. And at some point, I glanced down at my mouse and I was like, oh, that's why. And I turned it back down one. And I was like, oh, yeah, here we go. Now I can move.
Disgusting.
I know. I'm a psychopath. I'm sorry.
Where were we? Number
Pokemon
5.
Company.
The Pokemon Company held an event that's described as, quote, a preview of the future of Pokemon, end quote. Here's what they showed.
Nate's excited.
First up, a game coming out in 2020 called Pokemon Sleep.
Nate's more excited.
The game will focus around sleep and rest.
Nate's really excited.
You heard that correctly. Something about recording metrics related to your sleep patterns. I don't know. I didn't understand any of it. I didn't really look too hard because I was like, this is ridiculous.
Can I sync it up to my watch? Perfect. Done.
The game will apparently require the use of the new version of the Pokemon Go Plus device, which they're calling the Pokemon Go Plus Plus.
I was hoping you saw my note when I wrote that.
I didn't see. Was there? Did you?
Well, you had before you expounded this story. You just had the cuts in there, and you said Pokemon Go Plus, and then I just real quick just wrote Plus again, and I was like, I don't know if it was going to catch on, but it's the Pokemon Go Plus Plus.
Let's see. I almost stopped reading there. They also announced Pokemon Home, a cloud. This is the one that I think is going to be interesting.
It's the one that I'm confused, but continue.
A cloud-based service that will essentially be your Pokemon storage, your Pokedex. You can transfer Pokemon. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
You can transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Sword and Shield, and Pokemon Bank on 3DS. Once your Pokemon are moved into Home, you can transfer them into any new games. Trading is also possible as long as you have a smartphone with you.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, interesting, but it's just interesting. Interesting is where I am at with it. Because I'm like, all right.
I can see where they're going with it. They're obviously trying to create like a whole ecosystem, and Pokemon Home is going to be where you dump all your Pokemon, and then so all your Pokemon Go crap goes in there. All your Let's Go, whatever you have.
Yeah, it goes
and then when you get Sword and Shield, you can be like, I'm going to transfer all these motherfuckers over.
But then it's just the point of like, why do I have any storage for the most part on my games? You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, I think it's just like it's like an account, an online account essentially.
Right. There's just like weird questions I have where it's like, I have X amount of I have like 400 Pokemon slots on Pokemon Go right now.
Yeah.
So would I just move all 400 into the cloud? Like, do I have limitations on the cloud that I have to also spend money to expand? You know, there's a lot of things where it's like,
from the way they made it sound, is it's literally just supposed to be a central hub to where you can throw all your Pokemon, and they will be there to be transferred to new games when new games come out.
Yeah, and then that whole thing is like transferred to new games. What, after I beat it the first time? Because you don't want me to just load up a level 100.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game, that doesn't make sense. So there's also more, because they've done it before where it's like, okay, you can bring in Pokemon from every other game after you go through the main story. Like once you've beaten it, now you can do what you want. A lot of things. That one actually, out of potentially all of the things you have written, might be the most intriguing to me out of just sheer confusion.
The sleep one has me for sheer confusion.
That one luckily doesn't have me confused, because here's my thing. There are sleep trackers all over the place.
Yeah, but
all over the place, Matt. So what's better than waking up to a morning cup of coffee, waking up to Pokemon rewards?
That was exactly the way they pitched it, basically.
And you're welcome. What's that? I don't know. I no longer need to walk to hatch my eggs. I sleep for 8 hours and I hatch my eggs.
Yeah, but
is that how it'll work? No. But do I want it to work that way? Yes.
I think that's the idea, though. It's like you play that they're like you play it sleeping. But my thing is,
I think you'll have different goals. I mean,
I saw that and I'm like, oh, they just want my fucking sleep data, them bastards.
It's also funny because currently going on is the Snorlax event, which is a bunch of sleep, and the Snorlax knows them. If you catch them, knows the special move Yawn.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next community day in June is Slackoth, which is just a giant sloth that sleeps constantly. So like,
nice.
The next 2 months are all sleep jokes from Pokemon.
Where were we?
Also, the question on that one too is, what's the Pokemon Plus going to cost? The first one cost like $50.
The first one was $35 apparently.
Okay, so $35. Fuck it, who cares? I'm an idiot. $35 still too much for my blood. For this.
See, this is the weird thing: is everywhere as I went said that it cost $35. I remember it
50
being 50.
Yeah, I remember being 50 at launch as well.
So maybe that's just what it is now.
Maybe. But either way, 10 to 15 is your sweet spot. I'll hand you that much money. 35 if I have a gift card somewhere.
It's a lot to ask people to shell out that much money for essentially a sleep tracker.
For a free sleep tracker.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you too, Max.
There's a new version of Detective Pikachu coming to the Switch.
Don't care.
The Pokemon franchise is moving into China with a new version of Pokemon Quest.
Not surprised.
There's a new mobile game called Pokemon Masters that will feature trainers from past Pokemon games.
More intrigued than a lot of the other stuff. Why? Because it's basically, in my assumption, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but Pokemon. If you know what I mean, you'll understand. Otherwise, don't worry about it.
And finally,
you activated my trap card.
Finally, there's a Nintendo Direct centered around Pokemon Sword and Shield that will happen on June 5th.
Woo! Go next week.
Woo woo.
Seto Kaiba. You have 3 blue eyes, white. Anyway, it's that one's interesting. There's also a Pokemon merch line that is being made available in North America. It's like Hawaiian shirts or
Fuck yeah,
dress shirts and
I
stuff.
love Hawaiian shirts.
But some of them just look like your typical, like a white shirt, but it's just little, not like a sailor shirt. What you know what I'm talking about? Like, or it's just a white shirt, but it's just dots that are actually things. Like if you were looking far away from it, it would just
Yeah, it looked like
a widely dotted shirt, but they're actual things, and they're like Pokemon. Just all I'm like, that would be too funny to be walking around at work with. I don't know if I can be that guy. I don't know.
I'm gonna convince you not to get the shirt right now
You don't have to convince me. I'm not buying it.
because I'll tell you who will buy it and who will be wearing it.
Dewey.
Tim Geddes.
Oh yeah. That's not much convincing. I already knew that too. Apparently, you can also customize them though, like what Pokemon and what sections of the shirt,
Interesting.
which is weird.
Yeah.
But also, I want them to be like the Hawaiian, not even the Hawaiian, like they still exist, but the dragon shirts, like the silk. That's what I want them to be. I want them to be Pokemon.
Oh,
I've seen a couple of them
God.
like that, but that's what I want these ones to be.
That's horrid.
It is. I had one of those. I think I had a flame one and a blue one.
I was a Hawaiian shirt person. Like I just had a ton.
I never had a Hawaiian
shirt.
shirt.
So many Hawaiian shirts. So good.
I can picture both of us, so I 100% believe it. Pokemon, man, it's a good time. It must, Detective Pikachu must have done well in theaters for them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm
I'm sure it did anyway, but them dropping all this stuff is pretty big. And then we get an actual Sword and Shield direct. That's if they're willing to have an entire direct just for that and not talk about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That direct is going to be very detailed. Then I assume.
Yeah, I'm expecting like the Smash level direct.
Yeah. Number 6. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Last week, we mentioned having to go through another E3 with Death Stranding. And I guess we upset somebody. This week, we saw a lot more of Death Stranding. We were treated to a Kojima-style trailer that featured some of his classic storytelling with some gameplay mixed in. The Death Stranding website has been updated with a short premise of the game, quote, "In the near future, mysterious explosions have rocked the globe, setting off a series of supernatural events known as the Death Stranding. With otherworldly creatures plaguing the landscape and mass extinction imminent, it's up to Sam Porter Bridges to travel across the ravaged wasteland and save humanity from impending annihilation." End quote.
Nice.
Thank you. I also like that it's Sam Porter Bridges who also uses bridges to get places.
Yeah. Did you see like
Bridge.
Bridge. I'm pretty sure the president's last name is Bridge too. Is that like supposed to be his sister or mom or something?
It's probably one of the two. Bridge is bridge to get back to bridge.
Bridging.
This week on Bridge. From a few other details that have been released, it sounds like the game will have Dark Souls-like features. Death Stranding won't have a typical death mechanic, and when you die, quote, "you'll find yourself in an upside-down realm searching for a way back to the living," end quote. The website also alludes to non-violent approaches to combat being the preferred course of action, so stealth around, people. Similar to the Souls games, Death Stranding will have asynchronous multiplayer where players can help out each other without directly playing together. And finally, the release date is November 8th on PS4. The game was originally announced for PC as well, but there has been no mention of it.
No mention of PC.
No mention for you.
Thoughts,
excitement, now that it's over, technically.
I mean, I'm gonna get it.
So am I. I'm gonna get it. And then I think definitely. Here's what I think we should. This is another we should play this in the same room at the same time.
God, but then it would just be like, what?
Like
What?
both of us just put
What?
both of us just put headphones on, sit back to back, playing, and then every now and then just kind of like tap behind us and go, "What the fuck is this?" And see how, just set a timer next to us and just hit start, and then see how long into the session one of us has to ask the other one what just happened, and then just 30 seconds in.
It'll be like literally because he's gonna have like a 15-minute opening thing. Like
15-minute?
all I'm thinking of is
Matt,
like
45.
all I'm thinking of is like Metal Gear Solid 5 when you're fucking crawling through the hospital.
Yeah, that was like an hour long.
And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
you're crawling through the hospital just to walk outside, and there's Firefly just like, woohoo, bitches! And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I remember the exact moment I stopped playing that game.
So do I.
I was like cruising around in the desert area after you get through the entrance.
Uh-huh.
And then these like fucking weird supernatural dudes showed up. And no matter what I did, they like murked me. And I'm like, I'm fucking done with this. And I just dipped.
Yep. I was driving around in the desert, and they were in like a river maybe or something. And I had to go to a mission. And they were just padding back and forth in my way. And I was like, the fuck is this? And I waited for them to go far away. And then I started walking across the river. And they all just turned back and went, bitch, boom, and shot me. And I was like, you know what? Nope. 3 hours in.
Yep.
I'm good.
Yep. That was done. My same thing. 3 or 4 hours in. I was like, all right, I don't know what this is about. I'm leaving.
Yep. I was like, I'm not tied to this franchise, so I don't care. I got this for $25 on a Steam sale. I am not worried.
I'm hoping that this game is a little bit more inviting.
It's not even inviting. I just need it to make slightly more sense. Or at least have like more, not necessarily sense like in a story meaning, like sense in I need to know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like if I am able to avoid those guys just by like crouch behind a rock, like I should have known I could do that because I tried doing that and they just looked at me the entire time as I'm behind the rock, like they don't see me and they're like, no, we know you're behind the rock.
Yeah,
you can just stand up now, and I'm like, the hell.
Ugh.
But yeah, I'll be buying it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of
chances it actually comes out in November.
I think it's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I'm not saying like I don't.
Do we have the Last of Us stuff in here?
Yeah, it's next actually.
Okay.
We'll hit that because what I was going to say was related to the Last of Us, anyways.
So let's move it right on to number 7.
With the news of Death Stranding comes the question: what about The Last of Us 2? It was supposed to come out in 2019, and now 2019 is looking awfully crowded for PlayStation. Well, Jason Schreier over at Kotaku probably has the answer. On Twitter, he foretold the announcement of Death Stranding, and with it said he heard that The Last of Us Part 2 was bumped to 2020, possibly February, is what he said.
Q4.
Early this week, there were rumors that Sony was planning another State of Play that would focus on The Last of Us 2, but with the recent news of Death Stranding, that's looking less likely. And what I was going to say was that I feel like this is just a gut feeling, but I feel like they made a conscious decision to put Death Stranding in front of The Last of Us 2 just because they're like, oh, it's ready. Let's get it out because people want it.
Also, I don't think they wanted to put Last of Us near Days Gone just for slight weirdness. Not that necessarily April is near November, but
near enough.
One after the other is the problem. You need to have something to break somebody's thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Nate's hot take: Last of Us is a PS5 launch title, and they're just not saying it yet.
There was
hot take, probably false.
Wired. The guy who did the article, Mark Cerny, for Wired, said that he said something along the lines of like he felt like Mark Cerny was implying that.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they kept asking him, and he just kept smiling, and they're like, "You can't talk about that."
Yeah, that like Death Stranding and Last of Us, and there was another one too. I can't remember what it was. Would be on PS5.
New Horizon.
I don't know. It might have been Ghost of
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Dreams.
Dreams.
Somebody rated that a 9.5 out of 10.
It's not even out yet, though. Are they talking about the early access part of it?
Apparently.
Okay, well, we'll have to visit that at some point.
No, we don't.
Let's play Dreams.
Tell you what, you buy it, you put it on my console. We'll do it, and then I'll just judge you the entire fucking time because I'll have no idea what we're doing.
Okay, that sounds fair.
I do it anyway.
What do you what I think? What do you think?
I just my hot take. I gave you my hot take.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. It's, I'm betting whether or not they'll admit it. I think it might happen. Or if it releases on the PS4, I think it's definitely coming to the PS5, and I don't think the PS5 is exactly trailing behind it because I don't. There's a chance they don't do a PS5 in a holiday cycle, which would be interesting. There is that chance.
There. So you're saying there's a chance?
There is. There's also a chance they drop it this fall and just blow everybody out of the water. They still have 2 weeks.
That would be insane.
They still have 2 weeks to steal E3 before anybody has a chance. And there's still a chance that somehow Xbox has kept a tight enough lid on its console, and there's a reason that the conference is 2 hours.
That'd be whack.
All possibilities right now are in the air. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And then that's how, because... So if we read into Mark Cerny more, they dropped the PS5 this year. The whole thing is that PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4, so it allows you to still buy Death Stranding and play it on a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also allows Last of Us to be the first PS5 title in the spring.
I think that I don't know.
Shit. Shit.
I don't know if that will be the case as much as like I think it's going to be one of those situations where obviously the PS5 is backwards compatible, and I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like the PS5 is going to play PS4 games better,
right?
And like which is also be an advantage to play.
Which is also why I could see it releasing in the spring with Last of Us as the launch, and then them saying like, "Don't worry, if you still had Death Stranding from November or whatever, you can still play it, and it looks better." So, not a bad deal. But moving on, number 8, Ubisoft had a few leaks this week, the first being possibly their next new title called Roller Champions, a roller derby-themed multiplayer game. The game looks like it could have a similar feel to Rocket League, with an aesthetic closer to Fortnite. From the video and stills that have leaked, there appears to be multiple tracks and highly customizable avatars. The other leak from Ubisoft comes courtesy again from their own store. This time it was a placeholder listing for Ubisoft Pass, which is assumed to be some sort of game subscription service with E3 right around the corner. I'm sure we'll know more sooner rather than later, probably right after the dance segment for Just Dance 2020.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we got to get that panda out
Last
there,
year's wasn't bad.
No, last year's wasn't bad.
It was kind of fun just because it was like...
The year before was bad.
Yeah, the year before was really bad. All right, so do you think it's going to be a Xbox Game Pass or a EA Access?
Same thing.
I'm like not EA Access, not Access Premier or whatever it's called.
I think it'll be closer to EA with tiers, because Ubisoft has the gold editions and stuff for their games, which EA also does. Not that Microsoft doesn't, but I could see them doing a tiered one similar to EA. They're closer to EA than they are to, in terms of companies, than they are Microsoft. Mm-hmm. So I could definitely see them doing it for themselves, because they don't have a giant library like Microsoft does to accept just saying pay this minimal fee and have 900 games available to you. But they could say pay this larger fee and have the best version of those games available to you.
EA Access on Xbox, this whole gimmick is that you get 10 hours of the game. So, like, I feel like that would play well into Ubisoft games. Like, if you put 10 hours in an Ubisoft game, you're far enough into where you want to commit.
Right. And I can see them doing that, but then also having the tier where you pay higher and you just have the full game. Mm-hmm. Because then you get the gold version of Division 2, the gold version of Far Cry's, all the yada, yada, yadas. And then you get the stuff, and that's where I could also see them pulling the joint Xbox and EA one where... And even maybe more the EA one, like, because you pay the premium, you get it a week before it releases, technically, and you get you get all our games live.
Yeah,
if
gold editions.
If we release a game and you're paying the premium tier for us, you get the gold edition of that game a week early, as long as you're paying for it. Totally possible, and I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, I think Ubisoft's like the one out of all of them. I think they're the ones that I'd be like, hell yeah, just because it's even if they launch a game that's not fantastic,
Right.
I still enjoy playing them usually. So
And I could very much see them using this announcement to announce Splinter Cell.
is that going to be? We writing that down for one of your E3 predictions?
Oh yeah, it'll be on there. Don't worry. I'm rehashing my Splinter Cell one from last year, probably anyway.
That's good.
Until it gets spoiled next week, and I can't use it.
I'm worried, man. I don't know. I just don't know anymore.
Oh, we will potentially. You'll hear us next week during our second episode of next week, right before it will be live, right before the EA conference starts. But you will hear us basically just hashing out a whole lot of we don't knows.
Yeah,
into
it's going to be me scooping shit out of my crack and throwing it on the wall,
and then it's going to be me looking at all that shit and going, I could spread that around a lot further, and then just smearing it into basically making it useless predictions. Where if I had just left it as one shit pile, it would have been fine.
It's
gonna be a
good
lot
summary
of,
for our podcast.
It'll be a lot of left field,
Number 9.
I will say the last thing though is these are the services that I'm fine with. It's the game technical streaming that I'm more worried about. But libraries and catalogs with paid access are different.
Yeah, as long as you can download a physical, not a physical, but like download a version of it to play.
As long as I'm running
locally.
if I'm running it locally, I'm fine.
Number 9, Ghostbusters the video game is getting remastered for Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Whoop-de-doo!
It launched 10 years ago, was written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, and has all the original cast. I feel like that was, speaking of left field, I feel like that was one of those ones that was like, there it is.
Definitely left field. Cool that it was written by those guys, and cool that it has the original cast.
Yeah, I mean, the original game was good. It was fine.
I never played it.
The remaster is... See, this is the weird part, because the original was written by them and had them voicing it. So I'm assuming by remaster is literally they're remastering the game, like, because they're going to leave all that in there. They're just going to throw probably a new game engine on it and be like,
besides, Bill Murray's too busy killing zombies.
I want to see that.
We should see that. Number 10. Square Enix confirmed that their Avengers video game will make an appearance at E3. It looks like the game will be called Marvel's Avengers. That's all they said via Twitter. The game is being made by Crystal Dynamics, who I believe was also the rumor years ago. The same people who made Tomb Raider in collaboration with Eidos Montreal, who made Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Both good games.
Yeah.
Both pretty games too. So
yeah.
I will hold speculation, and maybe I will use what this means during a Square prediction segment about what that game actually is going to be.
Okay.
I have ideas that they should do or could do and make it okay, but then every time I think about it, I'm like, there's a chance they just fuck it up and do something weird.
Yeah, that's my problem with them all the time. Like
especially
Square...
if what's his name comes out with that head thing on again.
Square is that one that I just like. I know so little about them compared to everyone else. So like, I never know what to like say expect from them.
I never know what to do with an actual like Square game.
Mm-hmm.
But like Tomb Raider and those things that are made by like Crystal and those guys, like okay. But the moment they're like, yeah, so we brought this Japanese game in, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing over there? I have no idea what this is. Which is a culture thing anyway. But it's just like,
yeah.
You couldn't explain this to me if I gave you 3 hours.
It's just funny.
I have more questions than I'm getting answers. What is Final Fantasy?
That's a bold question.
It would take somebody 18 years to explain it to me. Also, I can't wait because I can use that prediction too. Prediction: Final Fantasy VII gets a fake release date and then gets delayed again.
Kingdom Hearts 3.5.
Kingdom Hearts 3.1.0. We're starting small, folks.
Number 11. EA has done us the courtesy of releasing the EA Play 2019 live stream schedule for E3.
Woo!
The schedule is rather straightforward and boring, which may be a good thing for EA based on their current reputation.
And me, it means I might be able to not pay attention.
According to the schedule, these are the games that will be featured. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
Woo.
Apex Legends,
Woo.
Battlefield 5,
Okay.
FIFA 20,
Eh.
Madden NFL 20, and The Sims 4.
What?
Couple things of note. It was nice of them to put Fallen Order first so that we can skip everything else. And Anthem is not mentioned.
Suck it, BioWare. It's all right. So I don't want to stick on this too long.
Yeah.
I almost don't give a shit about Fallen Order. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm so disappointed in what I've seen that I don't want to look at it.
I'm very much in the same. I'm watching it because
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
That I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I'm watching it to just stay up to date on it. So I can talk about it with other people.
And I want to see reactions. I want to see the interaction. I want to know if they make the same mistake they did with Anthem. Do we have a 20-minute developer panel for absolutely no reason in the middle of this EA Play thing where we show artwork and shit?
Andrea Renee sitting next to what's his face?
We don't need to put anybody else out there.
Asking,
just let her
what's
talk,
this game?
Just let her talk about the game. She'll do a better description than 90% of the people working on it.
Yeah, it's her and actually her and
it's her. Yeah, I don't remember what the other guy's name was.
It was Greg Miller.
No, is it Greg doing it this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
just for that game,
what?
Which I find is weird.
I don't know. It's love me some Kind of Funny. I'm not going to get off into this tyrant. Love me some Kind of Funny. Love me some Andrea Renee and What's Good Games, Steimer and Brittany and everybody over there. And Andrea and Greg do great in the video game news environment. They are, arguably in the top 5 of people that are always gone to currently for game news and such. That are individuals, not outlets and stuff like that.
Surely.
Greg knows Marvel. Why isn't he doing that one? He doesn't know Star Wars.
I don't know either. That's the frustrating part. When I saw that they're doing
He's
Star
just going to
Wars,
make horrible Watto jokes.
I was like, this is Andrea makes sense. Greg does not.
Andrea makes sense just because she hosted EA last year and in previous years. She has always worked with them. It's like Aisha Tyler hosting Ubisoft, which they stopped doing, but same thing. They've just done it. They've been working together, so it makes sense. Yeah. But Greg doesn't know Star Wars. He does, but it's all joke level.
Yeah, he's not Pat. He's not he's a fan.
He's a fan,
but he's not
he's not in the weeds.
Yeah,
love Greg, but Greg, we're being honest. It was nice when we met him that one time. Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Definitely.
Let's continue through this list. Apex Legends, interesting that it's at E3.
I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense somewhat, but I'm wondering if that got thrown in. Once that came out and it had its success, they told Anthem, you're not showing up at E3, and they swapped them.
I think I don't know. I think they have a roadmap or something. I'm assuming they have a plan.
I'm sure they do, but I'm also betting it was once Apex had its success, they were like, all right, it's you versus Anthem at E3. And then Anthem bombed, and they're like, you win the slot. Battlefield 5. Interesting. Okay, I don't know what you're going to talk about.
Maybe they'll be like, oh, we're actually going to release the shit we said we're going to release.
Yeah, we're going to make Bad Company 3. FIFA 20, I'm always just curious to see what they're going to do with sports games. Madden 20, also curious. Why is NBA Live not on here?
Because no one likes it.
They've been doing better and better. Are we canning it, or are you just not showing it? That's the other thing. They could just not be showing it, but still making it, but just not showing it on stream. Also possible. And then The Sims 4, we're not moving on to 5 yet? Whatever.
You know they like to fucking beat that dead horse with expansions.
They've murdered that horse. That thing is literally just held together with glue. Anyway. Number 12. Google announced some changes to the Google Play Store, but there's one specifically that we are going to talk about. Can you believe that Farmville... This is the text in question. Quote, apps offering mechanisms to receive randomized virtual items from a purchase, i.e. loot boxes, must clearly disclose the odds of receiving those items in advance of purchase. Apple has had a similar end quote there. Apple has had a similar policy in place since December of 2017. It's interesting to see mobile companies handling loot boxes head on, and it'll be interesting to see how this factors into the industry as a whole. And I think that's a big thing just because it started, I think, in Asia.
Yeah.
I know Overwatch has to have its odds broken down in, I think it's China and Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the loot box stuff from like Activision or whatever before, where they might still try to do it, but they're also going to try to do this.
Yeah.
Where this, I think, is the immediate first step, along with what else needs to be done, but this needs to be...
The transparency is definitely...
Right. This needs to be a guaranteed standard if you're going to put boxes in. You need to have what your percentages are.
Yeah.
But good move.
Yeah, definitely a good move. I could definitely see how it would be an Eastern thing that forced it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, because they said, I think it was that they said, if you don't show us, we will not allow your game in our country or something like that.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and then I think it's what they did in Belgium too, maybe. Or they took, I don't remember what they did there. They did something weird over there too for their standards.
Well, something to keep an eye on, because I'm sure it'll pop up again in the future.
Yeah, and it's a great thing just to deal with the, if somebody's doing bad ethical practices.
Yeah, it's easy to tell real quick.
And if they're doing it right, they should have to prove those odds in front of a committee, or like not a committee, but like prove your algorithm to actually be the odds you say it is, and not just be making up odds.
Yeah,
but. That would be easily testable if somebody just spent $100 and it went, well, you said it's a 1 in 100 chance and I don't have one. So,
what if you could
hate to tell you guys, but
what if you could sue them for something like that? If that would be basis for grounds,
you'd have to have
for
a hell of a
lawsuit.
lawyer to go for false advertising.
That's unfortunate. All right,
at least at that level, I think.
13, lucky number. Riot Games has
launched...
Bad number. has launched a premium viewing service. Not anything crazy this time.
Oh, we're not talking about horrible workplace disputes.
Not this time. I was going to let it fester and some more stuff happen before we round back to it. Riot Games has launched a premium viewing service for League of Legends League Championship Series and League European Championship. It has a couple key features to justify its existence. The main one being the ability to follow individual players during competition. Customers can watch up to 4 synchronized streams and let friends synchronize their streams for a better viewing experience. The service will set you back $20 for both league championships, and I think it's like $10 for what you can get. I think you can get the League Championship Series by itself, but not the European Championship Series by itself.
Interesting.
Yes.
Makes sense. I mean, Overwatch has had their Twitch pass or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it would matter of time before another one showed up.
Yeah, for sure.
And apparently League is still alive and doing well then. Haven't played in years, don't know. Number 14, speaking of Overwatch League Commissioner Nate Nanzer is leaving his position to join Epic Games. Apparently, Nanzer will take a new role to work on competitive Fortnite, according to Epic. The Overwatch League commissioner duties will be taken over by Pete Lastelica. Welcome to the show, Pete V. CEO of Activision Blizzard Esports Leagues.
Lovely.
Pete V is the new Overwatch League commissioner.
Epic
Games.
taking all that talent.
Hey,
there's no saving Fortnite.
I hear you got some talent over there. What if we took that?
Be a real shame if we bought that.
Be a real shame if somebody walked in and made a lot more money. Oh, wait.
15. The World Health Organization, or WHO, has formally adopted its new set of revisions that recognize gaming disorder.
Real quick.
Yes.
I want to take this seriously, but I just thought of this and I have to say it. I really want the World Health Organization to have NWO shirts.
that say
that say who,
Yeah.
but they're all in the NWO style.
That'd be funny.
That'd be great. Continuing on gaming disorders.
You may recall us discussing the topic from a previous episode where the WHO
The HWO.
WHO is considering the revisions. Gaming disorder is listed under gambling disorder and uses the same language. It reads as, quote, a pattern of persistent or reoccurrent gaming behavior, digital gaming or video gaming, which may be which may be online, i.e. over the internet, or offline, end quote.
Online, i.e. not over the internet. You're welcome, simpletons.
We'll keep you updated, as this will probably lead to some dramatic stories in the future of, parents rioting and.
No, what will happen is it'll become the new new ADHD.
Yeah, my kids need drugs. They play too much Fortnite.
Jack them up with Ritalin. They all have ADHD. Problem solved. See you guys later.
When are we gonna bring back the lobotomy?
Only if it's with an ice pick.
Ooh.
And only if we actually ice pick lobotomy the parents, not the children.
Ooh, I like
bold
your style.
moves. Bold moves, Cotton. Let's see how many parents are left. Go for it. I'm going to leave this one to you too.
All right. Well, Computex.
This is a you thing anyway.
Computex happened this week. There's really only two important things to talk about. AMD officially announced their Ryzen 2 lineup with prices and a release date of July 7th. We'll wait for third-party benchmarks to talk about it if they're exciting. But based on what AMD provided, it looks pretty interesting. And I don't think anyone would complain about 12 cores and 24 threads at $500.
I don't think so either. And the way a lot of it was being talked about was a lot of people saying like Intel should kind of shake a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you're no longer leaps and bounds ahead.
Yeah, they said something like 15% improvement over instructions per clock, which is
that's massive.
That's a big chunk. And then like I was thinking, oh, that's cool. And then when they showed the prices, I was like, are you serious with that? Like
it's one of those. Oh, so you guys remember when you guys were on the 4th floor and they were on the 1st? Yeah, now they're halfway up the stairs on the 3rd to get to you. Like,
yeah,
they're on your heels. Torch in the hair.
Yep, definitely. Intel announced their what sucks for I'll finish with this. Intel announced their 10th generation CPUs. They literally I feel like that was almost like a answer because they didn't have anything to show. They just announced their 10th generation CPUs.
Somebody get me a splash screen. They're here. We'll talk to you guys later.
They basically said the first wave of processors will be focused on laptops and tablets.
Which, whatever.
Yeah. What's also sucks for Intel though is that all the security issues they're having is like slowly chipping away at their performance because they keep having to patch it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're like patching all these little holes in the boat. You know, you got freaking AMD with they're like, we're catching up, motherfuckers. Like,
that's exactly what I just picture. Like the guy that's in the supercar that keeps having to replace his tires every 400 feet.
Yeah.
But the guy that's been in the Kia Optima the entire time has just been like, I've just been on cruise control at like 65.
I get 40 miles to the gallon, bro.
Yeah, what are you stopping at the gas station for? I got a few more to go. And then it turns out it's McConaughey behind the wheel, and it's just like, all right, all right, all right. While he just does weird things in a pool table and then just drives away from a party for no fucking reason. I don't understand those commercials.
What were they for? Buick? No.
Lincoln.
Lincoln. That's what it was. Lincoln. Stinking.
Because he's a Lincoln lawyer. You get the reference? You fucking idiots.
I do.
Oh, God.
Lincoln doesn't exist anymore, does it?
I don't fucking know, man. I don't understand what. Number moving on.
We're done.
We're done, but
With
we're
news.
not. Because now is the time for Nate to shine, where he tells you that there are deals Matthew, deals.
Deals.
You better do it right now because I don't remember when it ends. But if you don't do it right now, what I'm telling you, you can't get Call of Duty Black Ops Battle Edition plus more on June 7th. I wrote down when it ends. On June 7th.
You outdid yourself.
You
played yourself.
You played yourself. So from Humble Bundle, the Humble Bundle Monthly, you get Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Battle Edition and then more on June 7th. So you got a few more days. PlayStation Plus for June, which will be coming out next Tuesday. You get Sonic Mania and Borderlands The Handsome Collection. Pretty solid leading into Borderlands 3. Xbox Games with Gold.
That was the other one.
Oh, Borderlands 3?
Borderlands 2 DLC.
Oh, yeah, rumored to potentially having a DLC coming out to lead into 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Matt, can you read the Xbox Games with Gold one? Because my doc didn't update.
Let's see here. Xbox Games for Gold. NHL 19, June 1st through the 30th. Rivals of Aether, June 1st to July 15th. Portal, June 1st through June 15th. Earth Defense Force 2017, June 16th through the 30th.
Nice. And Twitch Prime hasn't announced their games yet for next month, so suck it, but you'll get them on June 1st, probably, or 2nd. Or maybe they're waiting and doing a giant E3 thing. Who knows?
Perhaps.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Twitch just balling out. That being said, we need to stop now because we have to go record another episode right after this where we rank things because we're stupid and opinionated. Bye-bye.